Dear educators, education is not a gift. It's a mutual process of empowerment that unshackles the educator and the pupil from the imposed stringencies of the past. It enables us to be complete human. Education and other pedagogical tools realize their purpose when our conscience is awakened to be critical and completely engaged with the world around us. Our vision. At Password, we believe in creating content that assists learning rather than dominates the dictum of the classroom. Our learning resources are built to merge in and encourage learners to discover their innate potentials and maximize them to the zenith. We don't see learning as a monolithic action that is only a privilege of a few people. It is an assimilation of knowledge that manifests the aspirations and values of everyone involved in the process of putting together a better tomorrow. Our mission. We at Password, through our books, digital resources, and other classroom-friendly tools, help everyone build an experience around their identity, thus making the learning exercise unique for each person involved. We look forward to easing the journey of learning for you with our contributions and make this a gratifying task for the pool of mentors and learners worldwide. Our services. We regularly conduct multifarious programs like workshops, seminars, training sessions, etc. for educators to keep them updated with the changes in the field. Students and parents are also given motivational sessions on and off to help them cope up with the pressure of learning. Veteran personalities in this field conduct the sessions. We have successfully conducted high-level programs in collaboration with renowned universities and organizations, and they have drawn the attention and applause of the academic community. Hence, we would be delighted to have you with us on this educational journey of ours to motivate, encourage, educate, enlighten, and support us to lead everyone from the abyss of darkness into the heaven of freedom. Team Password.
Happy morning, dear teachers. Butterflies fly from flower to flower to get more fuel to power their flight. Let's fly with the butterflies. Let's fuel ourselves to enliven our classes. Let's taste the sweetness of our child-centered textbook that is based on the National Education Policy 2020. And to lead you in this smooth flight, I welcome our dear Binish sir, who is the author of the New Butterfly series for kindergarten. Let us look briefly at his profile.
Mr. Binish K. Menon is a versatile personality who has made his mark not only in the field of education but also in the area of art. An eminent scholar with master's degree in both physics and psychology, he has been working as the principal of Canadian Central School for the past 8 years.
The center is beautiful. You just look around, you can see so many things which are beautiful.
He started his teaching profession 14 years ago and enjoys being in the company of students. His passion for art led him to earn a post-graduation in Bharatanatyam too. He is a true artist striving to integrate art into teaching. He is successful in inspiring students towards this idea and encouraging them to become more creative so as to make learning an enjoyable process. With his artistic talents, he has worked in All India Radio as a casual announcer and also as a physics faculty in Gyanvani Radio. Above all, he is a master trainer and motivational speaker who conducts counseling and motivational sessions for students, teachers, and parents alike. Given his talents and capabilities, his sessions are always a hit with his sense of humor and entertaining capacity. His keen sense of observation and deep knowledge in this arena has helped innumerable teachers, students, and parents to sort out their problems. He has to his credit a huge number of sessions attended by a large number of students, faculty, and parents. He has successfully conducted more than 1,500 programs across South India. He is currently associated with Password Publishing House Private Limited as their head, academic and resources. He has written the much acclaimed kindergarten series, New Butterflies, published by the Password, thereby putting his stamp in the print media as well. Mr. Benish, with his multifaceted and high degree of social skills, can surely make a tremendous change in the society for the betterment of the future generation.
May the tiny caterpillars in your class garden transform into beautiful butterflies that fly high and bright in the sky. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Aparna. All my dear teachers and officials from Password, good morning. എനിക്ക് ഇതൊന്ന് ഗാലറി വ്യൂ ആക്കിയിടുവോ ശ്രീധരൻ? ഞാൻ തന്നെ ചെയ്യണം.
സർ ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ്. കുറച്ച് വോളിയം കുറവുണ്ട് സാറിന്.
ഇപ്പൊ ഓക്കെ ആണോ?
സർ ഓഡിയോ കുറച്ചുകൂടി ഒന്ന് കൂട്ടേണ്ടി വരും.
ഓഡിയോ ഇപ്പോഴോ?
ഇപ്പൊ ഏകദേശം ഓക്കെ ആണ്.
ഇപ്പൊ കുഴപ്പമില്ലല്ലോ?
യെസ് സർ, കുഴപ്പമില്ല.
ഓക്കെ. സോ മൈ ഡിയർ ടീച്ചേഴ്സ്, നമ്മള് കുറെ പേരൊക്കെ ഒരുപാട് തവണ കണ്ടവരാണ്. മേ ബി വെബിനാറിലായിരിക്കും, അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ നേരിട്ട് സ്കൂളിൽ വന്നിട്ട് കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവാം. സോ വി ഡിസ്കസ്ഡ് എ ലോട്ട് റിഗാർഡിംഗ് KG, the teaching practices and of course about the curriculum, the content. But ഇത് നമ്മൾ വീണ്ടും ഒന്നോടെ ബിഫോർ വി സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ന്യൂ അക്കാഡമിക് ഇയർ, ഞാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസങ്ങളിലെല്ലാം പല സ്കൂൾസിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ പോയി വെക്കേഷൻ ടൈമില്. അപ്പൊ എല്ലായിടത്തും നമുക്ക് എത്താനും പറ്റുന്നില്ല. പോയപ്പോ ഒക്കെ ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ആർ വെരി ഹാപ്പി, വളരെയധികം പ്രിപ്പയർഡ് ആയിട്ട് ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഒരു പുതിയ അക്കാഡമിക് ഇയറിൽ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ വെൽക്കം ചെയ്യാൻ തയ്യാറെടുത്തിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ആൻഡ് അത് മാത്രമല്ല, നമ്മള് 2 വർഷത്തെ ഓൺലൈൻ ക്ലാസ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് കുട്ടികളെ കുട്ടികളെ സ്കൂളിലേക്ക് വന്നു. ഒരു 1 or 2 months ഓഫ്ലൈനിൽ വന്നു. അപ്പോൾ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ഒരുപാട് മാറ്റങ്ങൾ ഉള്ളതായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് തോന്നി. മാറ്റം ഇൻ ദ സെൻസ് അവർ വളരെ ആക്റ്റീവാണ്, വളരെയധികം ഷാർപ്പാണ്. കോൺസെൻട്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കാൻ കുറച്ച് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടാണെന്ന് കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം ഏതോ ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് പറഞ്ഞു എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത്. അവരങ്ങനെയൊന്നും അടങ്ങി ഒതുങ്ങി നമ്മൾ പറയണതെല്ലാം കേട്ടിരിക്കണില്ല. ബിക്കോസ് നമ്മൾ ആ രീതിയിൽ അവരെ ട്രെയിൻ ചെയ്യിച്ചിട്ടില്ല. അപ്പൊ അതിന്റെ പ്രശ്നങ്ങളുണ്ട്. പൊതുവെ റൈറ്റിംഗ് പാർട്ട് വളരെ താഴെയാണ്. കാരണം പേരൻസിന് അവരെ എഴുതിച്ചെടുക്കാനായിട്ട് സാധിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടാവില്ല. ഇനി ഓൺലൈനിൽ ക്ലാസ് കൊടുത്തപ്പം എക്സംപ്ലറി ആയിട്ടുള്ള ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ചിലപ്പോൾ അവരെ ഓൺലൈനിലും നന്നായിട്ട് എഴുതിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളവരുണ്ട്. ചില ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് കേഴ്സീവ് റൈറ്റിംഗ് ഒക്കെ പഠിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട് ഓൺലൈനിലായിട്ട്. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ആലോചിക്കുമായിരുന്നു, അത് കേഴ്സീവ് റൈറ്റിംഗ് ഒക്കെ പഠിപ്പിച്ച സമയത്ത് അവരുടെ അച്ഛനമ്മമാർക്കുണ്ടായ ഒരു ബുദ്ധിമുട്ട് അവരുടെ കൺട്രോൾ തന്നെ പോയിട്ടുണ്ടാവണം. കാരണം ഈ ഓൺലൈനിൽ കേഴ്സീവ് എഴുതിച്ചെടുക്കുക എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് സോ സിമ്പിൾ. പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് നമ്മൾ ലൈവായിട്ട് ഓഫ്ലൈൻ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ ചെയ്യിക്കാൻ തന്നെ പാടാണ്. അപ്പം മിക്കവാറും അമ്മമാരായിരിക്കും അത് ചെയ്യിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടാവുക. ഏതായാലും കുറച്ച് റൈറ്റിംഗ് പാർട്ട് അവരുടെ somebody else is asking me to speak in English. I don't know how many of you want me to speak in English, but anyway, I will try. കാരണം നമുക്ക് majority we are having teachers who wish to listen me in Malayalam. That doesn't matter. I will talk in English and also in Malayalam. Most of the things when we discuss regarding the textbook. പിന്നെ നമ്മള് മലയാളീസ് അല്ലേ, ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് നമുക്ക് ഇത്തിരി മലയാളം ഒക്കെ കേട്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്താ രസമുള്ള. I don't know from maybe from outside Kerala it is there. Okay, anyway. So in Kerala we are having a fine morning. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അവിടെ കറണ്ട് ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടോ? ഇവിടെ ചിലരെയൊക്കെ എനിക്ക് ഇരുട്ടത്ത് കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട്. I can see some eyes, a couple of eyes in darkness. ചിരിക്കരുത്, നിങ്ങൾ ചിരിക്കണം കേട്ടോ, അപ്പൊ നല്ല രസമുണ്ട് കാണാൻ. ഞാനും അത് എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്യണു എത്ര നേരം. ഐ ഡോണ്ട് നോ ഫോർ ഹൗ ലോങ് ഐ ഓൾസോ വുഡ് ബി ഹാവിംഗ് പവർ. ഇൻ ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദർ മേ ബി സം കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് ഇന്ററപ്ഷൻസ് ലൈക്ക് മേ ബി വൈഫൈ ഒക്കെ പോവാം. അങ്ങനെയാവുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ എന്നെ വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമല്ലോ അല്ലേ. ഡോണ്ട് സ്വിച്ച് ഓഫ് യുവർ വീഡിയോ ആൻഡ് ഐ മീൻ turn off this Zoom and leave the class. You should wait. നമ്മളൊക്കെ KG ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് അല്ലേ, നമുക്ക് ഒരുപാട് പഠിക്കണ്ടേ. We want to learn a lot. നമ്മുടെ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ, പ്രത്യേകിച്ചും ഓൺലൈൻ വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ കാലഘട്ടം കഴിഞ്ഞ് വരുന്ന കുട്ടികളെ, യു ആർ ഗോയിങ് ടു ഹാൻഡിൽ ദം. അപ്പോൾ ക്ലാസ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാം അറിയാം, ബിക്കോസ് പാസ്വേർഡ് ഹാസ് ബീൻ ഗിവിംഗ് യു എ ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് ട്രെയിനിങ് ഫോർ ഓൾ ദീസ് 2 or 3 years റിഗാർഡിംഗ് ദ ടീച്ചിങ്, KG ടീച്ചിങ്, എസ്പെഷ്യലി KG ടീച്ചിങ്. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് ഒത്തിരി കാര്യങ്ങൾ നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ടു. Sometimes, not sometimes, of course I'm going to repeat most of the things which I said, because this talk is completely based on the textbook. So each and every part of the textbook, which are the activities that we can give in addition to the things given in the textbook, and the assessment area, to how to deal with the numeracy number part, how to deal with the EVS topic. So I will be explaining. It is not, I didn't get time to discover new things within this last 2-3 months, because കഴിഞ്ഞ കുറെ നാളായിട്ട് ഇത് തന്നെയല്ലേ പറയണേ. കുറച്ച് നാളുകളായിട്ട് പാസ്വേഡ് എനിക്ക് സമയം തന്നില്ല പുതിയ പുതിയ കാര്യങ്ങൾ കണ്ടെത്താൻ. അവരെന്നെ സ്വതന്ത്രനാക്കുന്നില്ല. They are not giving me freedom to discover new ideas. So I would be repeating the things sometimes. Most of the things നമ്മൾ ഒരുപക്ഷെ കേട്ടതായിരിക്കാം. That doesn't matter. So ഇതൊരു റിവിഷൻ ആണ്. We are going to have a new academic year. So we need to revise the things once again. How to teach rhymes, how to introduce alphabet, how to introduce sounds, because our textbook is based on phonetics, phonic sounds. So how to deal with these phonic sounds, which are the activities that could be given along with the teaching phonic sounds, and what are the things we have to handle, or what are the activities that we have to give in prior to make them writing. Because നമ്മൾ ഈ സ്ട്രേറ്റ് അവേ അവരെ പെൻസിൽ പിടിപ്പിച്ച് എഴുതുന്നതാണ് പ്രോബ്ലം. ആരോണോ ഇത്രയും നമ്മൾ ഇങ്ങനെ പറയുമ്പോഴും മേ ബി ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് വുഡ് ബി ഹാവിംഗ് എ ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ടി വിത്ത് time. The time bound ആണല്ലോ within this 2-3 I mean maybe 5 or 6 periods, maybe in kindergarten 4 or 3 or 5 periods you have to teach them English, mathematics, and in between we should give them some time to play. All such things should be there, and they have to write also. To make them write is the most difficult part, because it's a skill. Each and every skill needs some practice, right? So even if you people are doing some cooking or something else like that, you need some time to practice and learn that skill. ഇതെല്ലാം അങ്ങനെയല്ലേ. To read the sounds, to read the words, that's a skill again. Reading skill എന്നല്ലേ നമ്മൾ പറയാ. So writing is also a skill that includes the development of a lot of areas in each and every child, no? അപ്പോ അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ നമ്മൾ കുറെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ അതിന് മുന്നേ, before writing, before we make them to write in 4-line notebook or in the textbook, we need to give them some more activities and all. So adellam we have to discuss. LKG textbook, and the things are combined, no? Ipo nammal LKG angane UKG ingane naavula parayane, but teachers can send me queries. If you are having some doubt regarding UKG, please send me something in the chat box, then I will try to answer. That's all. Appo ningale enikku most of the videos are switched off. Some of the teachers are sitting like, no, sir, please give us a cup of coffee. It's a fine morning with a heavy rain. ചിരിക്കാമോ? Can you please smile? Can you please smile? Please smile. You see, you are see Geeta Ravindran, but I can see many teachers there. Are you sitting in your school? Say yes or no. Yes. Okay. So please be happy. Please be happy. Yeah, it's like somebody else has forced you to attend the meeting. Maybe your principal or the KG head. Now, what kind of people are they? Isn't it? So please be happy. Now many of the videos are switched on. Very good. So let it spend maximum 1.5 hours. That's all. So the KG textbook that begins with the colors. I love to teach colors because our children are entering to a colorful world of learning. No? Play, games, fun, and everything. According to National Education Policy, you don't teach them, but you let them play. Let them play and learn something. So games and fun-based activities should be there in your teaching pedagogy, especially up to 2nd standard or even up to 5th standard. So you teachers are having more, you are having some time, maybe 2 more weeks, 2-3 weeks ahead to find out the games that can be implemented or introduced in your classes in connection with every topic. Even if you teach Malayalam or Kannada or Tamil or some other language, find out some games, and you will get a lot of games. Okay, so colors, that's a wonderful thing to start with, and you are having some pages in the textbooks to color. But recently, I have been writing some lesson plans based on activity. That is activity-based lesson plans, not like a teaching pedagogy lesson plans. I mean, pedagogy lesson, some activities. So through the activities, you can teach them, introduce some particular topic. So it's a very simple thing. Most of you would be doing that. But to take it as an activity and to make a framework for that, a proper format, what things should be done in the first, and what should be, how the activity should be concluded, how can we assess the children, what are the things in between that we have to give to do the activity. It's like a proper lesson plan. So I will tell you, before you introduce the colors, our children would be knowing colors. Definitely they are familiar with the colorful world. Because they have been talking with about the colors, identifying things in colors, and red doll, book, they speak like that. So a teacher can go for a nature walk as a lesson plan activity. First activity, nature walk or the campus walk. But activity our prime aim is to make them identify some colors. They may not be knowing the proper words, proper names of the colors. I mean that discrete colors. Blended colors and fused colors and maybe like gray and all. So the red, green, yellow, such colors. So they may be knowing. So if they don't know the name, you think that they don't know the names of other such colors, you need to make them understand, to learn the colors, to identify the colors, to make some sentences using color, these names of the colors, isn't it? To find out some unknown objects, that means the objects which they don't know earlier in that particular colors. Like suppose if you introduce a red apple, so now you want them to find out more objects in red color. So all these are the learning outcomes. Your children will be able to identify colors, to name the colors, to find out the blended colors, to find out things in that given particular colors, to make some sentences using the names of the colors. All these are the learning outcomes. So what is the activity? Teacher will make her children walk around the campus or in the nature, and to go to that specified spots or locations, and teacher would be asking some questions related to the color, only related to the colors. That is the content of the activity. So learning outcomes, and you have to manage the time. Before every activity, you need to give them some instructions. Take 3 or 5 maximum 5 minutes for the instructions. So in your lesson plan also that should be included. So what are the instructions? My dear children, all of you have to move in a line. Don't ask them to keep their hands at back. Let them be free. Tell them, no, do not make much noise, because our chetans or our elders, your seniors are sitting there and learning. So don't disturb them. So yeah, I would be so much happy and delighted if you keep quiet for some time. Don't touch any of the things in the campus. Stay or stand there wherever I ask you to and answer my questions. After doing the activity, come back to the classroom and take your seat or sit in your places. These are the simple instructions. Now take them to the walk, and ask them some questions. So what is the subject? So the teacher can prepare different locations, get ready the locations with some objects they can spot easily in some bright colors. So that is a duty of the teacher. So let the teacher do such things in prior to that and take them to, okay, let us go to the canteen, or let us go to the assembly hall. Let us go to the garden. Let us go to the principal's room. There is a big waste bin in front of the room in red color or in black color. So you can go and ask, so which is this color? What is this object? Okay, have you seen any other object in this color? So the main aim is children, they should speak in complete sentences, but you have to help them. Miss, what is this color? Black. We don't accept that answers in a single word. You can make them, yes, this waste bin is in black color, or this color is black. So please help them to repeat the answer in full sentences. By the time you complete the whole activity, your children will be making, I think they would be capable to make maybe 10 or 15 or 20 sentences using the names of the colors. So that's a wonderful activity. So they are getting an idea, they are getting familiar with the colors. So green color, gray color, purple color, blue color, yellow color, something like that. So that is the activity to begin with the topic colors. Then after they come back to the class, you can take the textbook. Not the same day, next day. I'm not telling that everything should be completed within the first day. You can prepare 3 or 4 or 5 periods. You can plan 3 or 4 or 5 periods to do this activity. So once they come back, okay, you just go for some reflection activity or review, feedback activity. Let everybody commence it. The teacher has already arranged some more objects or pictures, even picture cards in the class. And take the card, ask them which is this color. If you can ask them individually. If your children can answer your questions related to that colors, that will stand as a reflection for your teaching also, isn't it? So that is it. So this is the first page. Orange pumpkin, yellow banana, green leaf. So we have given some basic colors. Teachers can add more colors. And I will give you some more activity. Most of the things you know. But along with this particular topic, you can add more activities, and I will say it is compulsory. You should give them some hand-on activities in this topic colors. You can give them some watercolor or different colors. Not crayons, I'm telling, because crayons cannot be mixed and new color cannot be obtained. I don't think so. So you just give them some watercolor. They don't bring the watercolor. Teacher can give them. Give them some watercolor, ask them to mix it using water, and tell them to find out which color they have obtained new. So they are discovering or they are inventing new colors. So when green and black and white, when they are mixed, you get gray like that. I'm not very sure whether you will get gray or not. But anyway, that you have to experiment. So let them do the experiment also. Discovering new colors. So that is one activity. And you can go for taking the palm print using some colors. So my palm. So in which color do you wish to have your palm print? I want to have my palm print in violet color. Okay, very good. Purple color. So let the child make his own palm print in that particular color. Footprint. You can go for footprints. And take the prints in white paper and hang it with the names of the child written on that paper. So it's my footprint. So your classroom also would be colorful. The child also would be showing it to his friends. See, it's my foot in violet color or in green color. So that is an activity. Then a lot of painting activities like thumb printing, printing using your thumb, printing using buds, earbuds, printing using cotton balls, printing using a toothbrush, that is dipping the toothbrush in some color and just doing it like this. I don't know which is the right word to say. Doing that, and using a painting brush. Let them paint using painting brush. So, and using crayons, painting using crayons or scribbling using crayons, that also could be given. And using sponge, you can use sponge to paint. And from a child shop, a toy shop, you will get some mesh things that you call mesh, okay, metallic mesh. Using that mesh also you can do the printing. So whatever things, you can take bottle caps for doing the print coloring, okay, dipping the bottle caps, the flat side in some color, and again put it on the paper. So using that you can color. Clear? So a lot of activities could be given along with teaching this topic colors. And then you can go for coloring. So while coloring these type of diagrams, you should make sure. So what we are expecting, using for all these activities, we are having some objective, that is to develop their fine motor skill also, hand-eye coordination. So while assessing these type of activities, I should say that all the children should get star or A grade or excellent remarks and all. But still you have to check whether the child can do the painting or coloring confined within that dots. He should not go out, because we want the skills to be developed, right? So that also should be checked. So you can give simple diagrams in the leaf, green color for the leaf, and for the pumpkin, that orange color, like that. So you need not to tell them which colors should be used. Let them find out the colors. Even if they do the coloring with the black, no problem. but you can ask them why you have colored the pumpkin in black color. Have you seen the pumpkin? Have you seen a pumpkin? Yes, I have seen the pumpkin. What's the color? So the child is not able to identify the color and say that it's orange. So then that you can understand that identification skill in colors has not been developed. That is not up to the mark. So you need to give them a lot of examples, lot more pictures to make him clear about which is orange color, which is the things that you see in orange color, like that. Okay, so these are the activities that also could be. So in your textbook we are having again more and more activities. See, color the clouds and trace the lines. And I always say, today I'm not going to talk based on the learning outcomes. That's why I didn't mention which are the learning outcomes that you have to focus on. But I should say, in all the activities, in all the topics, in KG literary program, learning program, our main aim is to improve their communication. Our children they are studying in English medium schools and they have to improve their communication in English. So while doing this kind of activities, what is that? What do you see in the picture? Is it a cloud? Yes, it's a cloud. What's a cloud? What do you get from the cloud? What do you see the cloud? See, is a color? What is the color of the clouds? Is it only white color? Is it only black color? Okay, when do you see black color? Yeah, before you get a rain, right? When the black colored clouds appear, they accumulate on in the sky, like that. Okay, and how is that? How do you feel to be in the rain? That also you can communicate to your children before you do the activity and give them a clear idea what they are going to color. It's a rainy day. It's something, it's something like rain. So they have to imagine that the proper diagram, the picture of that rain, the clouds, everything should come to their mind. Now we are moving on to the strokes. So all the teachers know why we are making them to do the strokes, the lines and the curves, because it's like a pre-writing activity. We are getting them ready with their muscle strength, hand-eye coordination, that fine motor development, isn't it? Pencil holding capacity, to improve their pencil holding capacity. So a lot of activities are there in the textbook. Now, this drawing, tracing lines, standing, sleeping, slanting and all. So you can ask them, one activity could be given, like tell them to find out the standing, slanting, sleeping lines in the nature, in their surroundings. You take them. So do not always confine your class, your teaching within the classroom. You do one thing, take them whenever you are getting some chance, take them outside. So take them to the park or to the garden or to around the campus and ask them, where do you find standing lines? So let them understand these kinds of shapes, the strokes, the curves or the lines or the patterns we can see in the nature. Let their studies, their education, their curriculum, their textbook should be connected to the nature. If they see a coconut tree, it's a standing line, isn't it? Don't go to a coconut which is slanting. You take them to a straight coconut tree and ask them which is this line. See, it's a standing line. Clear? And a rod. It's like a sleeping line, a rod. And this the bars in the window. So you just take them wherever you find. So before you go for all these activities, the most important quality for a teacher to observe the surroundings and find out this particular area or place should be connected to my topic in the classroom. So that your capacity, your capability to find out, to associate your topics with the different locations. So do it like that. And as a part of this pre-writing, from LKG beginning or UKG beginning, at least for 1 or 2 months, I should say, with all the topics, along with all the topics throughout the year, you need to go for some pre-writing activities or preparatory activities like coloring activity along with every topic, or a scribbling activity along with every topic. So that should be given. Just like I said for the other activity here also, you have to ask, what is it? Is it a boat? Is it a bus? Is it a cycle? No, it's a sheep. Yeah, it's a sheep. And where do you find the sheep? Yeah, we find the sheep in the sea. Okay, so have you seen the sea? Yes, I have seen the sea. It's beautiful. It's a vast area of water, and I can see some waves or tides there, isn't it? And the water, how does it look like? And what is coming out of the ship? So there are a lot of questions to be asked before you ask them to simply trace it. Let them understand what I'm going to trace. Let them have an idea on that. Anyway, so rewriting activities, the most important activity before you start the letters, before you start the topic, and along with the activities also you can give scribbling activity. It's a wonderful activity for your child to improve his control over the letters. Clear? So where the child has to scribble? The child has to scribble in the newspaper. If the teacher can bring newspaper to the class, do it, or you please ask the parents to send a full set of newspaper. Let the child scribble in the newspaper using crayons or maybe coloring pencils. Let the child punch in the newspaper. That is a good activity. Let the child, if it's a UKG child, scribble letters in the newspaper. Scribble numerals, numbers in the newspaper. Scribble Malayalam, English letters in the newspaper or Hindi letters in the newspaper. After doing complete scribbling, that let it be a waste paper now. That much scribbling activities should be done in the newspaper, then tear it off. Then tear the newspaper, collect the bits of paper in a bottle, go for doing the collage work with that paper, and before that, you can use this newspaper for making frames. You can punch the newspaper and put some holes and ask the child to thread it using some shoelace or something like that. So you can make some threading frames using the newspaper. So after doing all sorts of works, okay, using the newspaper, tear it off, take the bits of paper and then do the collage work. Make sure they do it within the pattern, paste it within the pattern. Let the child himself glue the bits of paper and paste it neatly. The patterns you can draw it in a paper and you can give the patterns. Even that means circles or squares or rectangles or triangles like that. The shapes, different shapes. So all these activities could be given, and then the Play-Doh activity or a clay activity. Let the child take it, squeeze it, press it, make balls, flatten it, stretch it, and make some balls, cut it, make alphabets or numerals or numbers using that. Clear? So all these activities find a wonderful role in making the learning interesting. And see, when I say all this, I ask all the teachers to list it out. And which activity should I take along with introducing 10 to 15, numbers 10 to 15? Which activity should I give when I introduce the letter Y or eggs? So that should be planned. There are a lot of activities which may be known or may be unknown. But all these activities together cannot be given. I told you, we work time bound. So you need to complete your curriculum, your lessons. But definitely there should be 1 or 2 activities along with your teaching. Maybe before teaching these letters or numbers or after teaching, but it should be there. So you cannot expect a child to develop all the writing skills within 1 month or 2 months. Sometimes there may be kids who lack, who may be having some developmental issues, maybe having some learning issues. So you need to give more work. No, that doesn't mean you should not do some kind of work. I mean, give him some kind of work like punishment. You cannot do some extra activities the same day, maybe after 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. It's not like that. Don't send them some homework to home so that you can have him improved in his writing. It's not like that. You need to give such simple activities throughout the year, so that the children also would be finding it interesting to come to the class, because today I will be doing some kind of activity. You know, a child who is having dyslexia or some kind of problem would be hoping for this activity, because he would be finding it entertaining, happy to do that kind of activity rather than sitting and listening to the teacher and learning alphabet or mathematics. So please go for such activities. And tracing. I told you, I might have told in many of the classes, tracing activities. In Montessori methods, we are having tracing insets. They are having some shapes, metallic shapes to trace. Don't go for that. Take some things from your home, maybe a plate, a small plate, lid, or a cover of some bowls or something like that. Okay, a glass, a spoon, a bottle, and ask your child to trace it. So tracing is a wonderful activity. See, all these things help them to control, to have a control over their fingers. So that is what we need in writing. Clear? And I told you this Corona kids, no, we call them Corona kids, Corona children for the last 2 years are not in touch with such activities. So you have to give such activities. And if you find it difficult to make them write the letters, break the letters into small fragments and let them practice the small fragments, scribble that fragments or pieces, then let them join it. So they would be getting an idea, oh, this car should be here like this in the letter A or some other letter like that. Then I have to join it. So that also could be given. It is given in the handbook, teachers give handbook. So now these are the pre-writing activities. A lot more are there. So we don't, today, I think I have done a complete session or one YouTube video is also there related to that. Anyway, next one, introducing letters from A to Z. So our textbook is completely phonic based. So you should focus on the sounds of the letters and how to introduce the letters. There are a lot of activities to introduce the letters, but in phonetics, we have two learning outcomes. One is sound awareness or the phonic sound awareness. Our children should be capable to identify the letter names and the sounds correctly and neatly. There should not be any confusion. They should know, yeah, letter U makes a sound A and letter A makes a sound A. So the differences in holding the mouth, I mean the shape of the mouth, all such things should be clear. And I can tell you by the end of LKG, they should have a particular speed in telling the sounds A, B, D, E, G, I, J, L, M, N, O, Q, R, S, T, A, W, X, Y, Z. But what happens is our children are they become thorough with the names A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. But in sounds, this speed that should be acquired. So teachers also should teach like that. In the first term, you would be teaching up to H. So by the end of the term, they should develop that speed. Up, up to H. Clear? And sometimes teachers say, parents make a complaint telling that now the children don't know the names of the letters. Directions and time at lower primary. Okay. See? So I don't know why it happens. I have never told, and phonic system never says that you should not introduce the letter names. But letter names are easy for them because they listen it, they hear it from everywhere. Parents also would be teaching them letter names, A, B, C, D, F, G. That also should be taught. But the frequency, once if you introduce the letter name, I should say, yay. The name of the letter is yay. And it sounds A as in apple, A as in ant, A as in ankle. So you are repeatedly telling the sounds, sound 5 or 6 or 7 times. They heard the name one time. So you follow that ratio, 1:5. I think so. I think that's fine. A makes a sound A. So let them say the names. By the end of LKG, you should make them practice that also. Now shall we say the names of the letters? A, B, C. That's fine. But you make them say that sound also. So I don't know. I don't think the children would be forgetting to say the names and also. What kind of teaching is that? So what sincere teachers would be making them to say only the sounds and learning only the sounds so that they forget. They don't understand. They cannot identify the letter names. I don't know how it happens. Anyway, so that should not happen. They should know the letter names also. So how to say A makes a sound A as in and, A as in apple, A as in axe, A as in ambulance, A as in alligator. Sometimes teachers are worried. Very, very rare. I'm not talking about you teachers. You teachers are great, excellent. Sometimes teachers are worried about the word ambulance. It's a long word. I don't think so. Alligator. Our children are very sharp. They can learn vocabulary very fast. Looking at the picture, they can identify, yo, alligator is this animal. They can identify it. That is why we are having 3-language system in NEP. By the year of 3, you can introduce 3 languages because they can learn vocabulary. They can improve their vocabulary so fast. Clear? So that's it. Now, so you have to introduce the names. You have to introduce the sounds. I told you we are having only some words. Apes. What apes? I don't understand. Apes, it's different, no? So you don't introduce ape in LKG because the sound does not, the word does not begin with the short sound a. It begins with the sound a, right? So that is in UKG. The long sound of the letters are introduced in UKG, vowels. So we are having 2 learning outcomes, sound awareness, and the second one is blending and segmenting. So once if we have finished up to H in term 1, we go for that blending. There is a page at the end of the term. So you have to blend. See how sounds are formed. You just imagine by the blending of sounds, isn't it? In our mother tongue, maybe in any of the languages, Malayalam, Tamil or Kannada, Telugu, you go for direct blending of the sounds. There is no confusion because the letter makes the same sound. There is no 2 different approaches called the name and sound. It is there. Isn't it? E. There is no difference. So children would be blending it automatically in their mind. So whenever you say some word in Malayalam like kinar, ki, na, r, it's fine to blend it like that. But in English, when 2 sounds blend together, different sounds are also formed. So you can give them that practice. It's interesting. You should make your children say it's fine. It's like a game. Shall we blend the sounds? Okay. When 2 sounds join together, a new sound is formed. Why don't we try? So give them, make them anxious to learn that. So curious to know about the blending of sounds. B, ab, d, ad, g, ag. And you can give some examples also. Let them find out more examples. Ab, ad, ag, eb, egg. So they have to practice it. Okay, it's like a play. So understand it like that. Approach it like that. Don't think that, oh, this also thing we have to teach in the beginning of LKG. See, an LKG child can say the names of all the apps in the mobile. So that itself is the best example, right? He knows the names of the cars, the bikes, or the different motor companies, automobile companies, and now the names of the mobile phone. Okay, the software used in that. So it is easy for him. Clear? That your child would be giving you more examples than you. So please make them ab. So that speed, it should be there in blending. Clear? So in LKG, term 1, term 2, term 3, you can go for that blending. So this is consonant plus vowel blending, and vowel plus consonant blending is also there. I'm telling you, this page has been given as a start to trigger that curiosity in the child to blend sound. If you do this, thereafter, when your child sees some text or a sentence or some words, unknown words, he would be searching for this, or he would be easily identifying the blend. Clear? Fan. Suppose if he show the word father, definitely he can identify fa, isn't it? Because he has seen it. Understood? Hat. You show him the word hammer, definitely he would read the first 2 letters ha. You forget about the rest. So that is why we have given the blending of sounds. So do it like a game. Using some cards, show him the first card, which is his letter, and you make the sound. Yes, it's b. And now this letter A, the sound A. Now the 2 letters together, b, A. That sound B should come. Okay, the child should make it. So this is how you have to introduce the sounds. So the 2 aims, phonic awareness, sound awareness, and then next comes the blending and segmenting. So that comes after now. By the time you complete all the letters from A to Z and introducing the vowels, it happens. You give him a word, mat. Let him segment it. Mat. Clear? Mat. At the end, teacher can go for an activity also. What kind of activity? Teacher can say, I'll tell you a word in segmented form. You have to blend it. Clear? While blending, you have to touch your biceps, middle arm, forearm. Okay? So shall we go for that? You should touch it fast. You should glide it over. Let me tell you, now you please say it fast. Bat. Say it fast. Bat. Now another example. Let me tell you. Now you say it fast. Tin. So you make your children say that. That just the opposite also could be done. Teacher can say it fast. Okay, like sit. Now the child has to segment it. Eat, like that. So these kind of activities also could be given for segmenting and blending. And I told you, introduce the names, introduce the sounds, and in phonic system. See, our main aim is to make them read a number of words. So for every sound, you have to give a large number of, as many number of words possible when it comes to UKG. Suppose if you introduce the sound A, give them rain, main, lane, then crane, brain. Give him a lot of words. Don't think about the number of letters. You can limit up to 5 or 6, but not more than that. Focus on that sound A. Write all the words in a chart. Highlight the sound A and make them read it 2, 3, 4 times daily. So the child will be looking at the sound A, that blend A, and the child will be understanding it. So our aim is to make them read a number of words put in chart. And in the teacher's handbook, I have given a lot of examples. Okay. So all such words should be written in a chart paper and make them read, so that they will be able to identify the sound whenever they see that a sound in some other words. Now make them write only A. That only the sound A. Let him practice writing A, only that sound. Now some more activities that could be given. Activities. After teaching all this, you can go for put some activities or assessment on identifying the sounds. Show the word, underline the first letter, ask him to identify the sound. Show the picture, ask him to say the word, tell him to identify the first letter sound, like that. Then identifying the missing sounds, just like fill in the blanks. You can ask him the missing sound. You can show him the picture, and you can say B dash T, which is a middle sound. Let him find it out. Clear? And again, you can say B dash show the picture of a bun. He will find out the middle sound as A. Then you have to show the letter A or U, which is the correct letter. Let him find out the correct letter. That is the correct association. Then ask him to arrange the sounds in order. Like that, you show the picture or you give the word, and you can misplace, jumble the sounds, I mean the letters, and ask him to say the sounds like, suppose if it is mat, teacher can say ch, a. Now he has to arrange the sounds in order. T. So that is the word mat. So that kind of oral drills could be given, and again matching sound in a word. That means you can give a word mat, then you can give another word mango. That means the 2 columns. Let him match the words that begin with the same sound, then odd one out. Okay, like cat, cap, cup, like that, in between a bat. So let him find out the odd one, not pictures. I'm telling about the words. Let him read the words and find out the odd one out. By the end of LKG, it is possible for them. Now grouping words of the same sound, the same beginning sound, isn't it? Grouping words of this, it's a wonderful activity. Let him do all these kind of mental works. Then making my letter art. That means you can give him any kind of artwork, gluing some kind of mustards or something like sand or a tea powder to make his own letter. So let him make letter M or maybe T or maybe D like that, and the teacher has to ask him, which is your letter? Yes, miss, my letter is letter D. What does it sound? The sound is D. Can you tell me some examples that begin with the sound? Okay, miss, dog, doll, duck, like that. So it's a complete reflection activity. Clear? You can give your children freedom to create any letter. Maybe at least using the crayon, let him draw a letter and call the child to you, near you, and ask him, which is this letter? Is it your letter? Yes, it's my letter. Which is your letter? Yes, this my letter is P. And what does it sound? So like that. Clear? So after introducing the sounds, after teaching phonic sounds, there are a lot of things to be done, like activities, this assessment activities or practice activities, so that your child would be thorough, would be having a concrete idea in the sounds. Most of the cases, teachers don't go for all these things. And you will be telling, no, the sound system, it is not good to teach spelling. Why? Because your children are not thorough with the sounds. Oral drilling. You have to give a maximum of oral drilling to teach them the phonic sounds. That's all I can tell you. Now sound stories. Okay, sound stories. Take some words that begin with the same sound and you create your own stories using that particular words and make them say it. An ant was sitting on my arm. Okay, that ant was eating almond. Clear? That ant was killed by an arrow. So like this. So spot creation. So don't expect a perfection in that. So you can create stories like that. For letter A, there is a small story. For letter B, there is a small story. Both the words given in the textbook, you can create it. Don't expect me to create it. Okay, you do it. And at the end of the year, please give them some chance to make a 2-letter or 3-letter words. But one thing should be understood. If you want your children to make words, they should be familiar with the words. If a child has never heard a word called was, was, if the child has never heard such a word, in spite of asking, in spite of asking him many times, don't expect your child to write the word was, because he has not heard it. So before you make them to do some puzzle activity to find some words, 3-letter words or 2-letter words, you should make them read such words many times before. Then your children will find out new words like not, God, mat, or high frequency words like can, did, has, was, but. All such words could be made by the child himself, but make him listen that words before you do the activity many times. So these are the things I should tell you about teaching phonics. Now when it comes to rhymes and stories also, I have explained it in detail to you how to teach rhymes, how to teach stories using story cards and all. So once again, let us summarize. Rhymes are some topics, some chapters or lessons to be taught in detail. It's not like it's a song for singing. Don't simply sing the rhyme and don't move ahead. You should take a rhyme, to approach a rhyme in such a sense that you want him to develop the vocabulary from that rhyme. So one main learning outcome, the children will be able to identify the vocabulary in the rhyme. You see in this rhyme, black, sheep, half, wool, tree, bags, full, master, dame, little, lives, down. All these are the words. All these vocabulary should be clear. The child should be able to say the vocabulary with clarity. That is what we expect. Clear? I'm not telling you to teach the spelling of the vocabulary, to by heart the vocabulary. It's not like that. So for that, you have to put all these words as sight words and make them read it 2-3 times before you teach the rhyme. Next day also do the same. Next day also do the same. 2, 3, 4, at least for 1 week. You continue with reading the vocabulary from the rhyme and use this rhyme to communicate. Ask him questions, comprehend. So this time I have told many teachers, I have given teachers sample comprehension questions in the textbook. Send it. So now, or you have to make it. If it is not there, you have to make it. Clear? So the child is asking the black sheep. To whom the child is asking wool, the child is asking to the black sheep. What's the color of the sheep? It's a black sheep. So what would be the color of the wool? Definitely it would be black, isn't it? Have you seen any white color wool? So you just go for how many bags of wool are there? There are 3 bags. Is it half of the bag or full? It's full, isn't it? And 1 bag for whom? It's for the master, and for the other one is for the Dane, and the last one is for whom? It's for the little boy. So there are questions to be asked. Interact with the children in connection with discussing the rhyme. Clear? And rhyme. And finally, I should say the rhymes are to be said, not to sing. Don't sing the rhyme in the beginning. That is at the end as an activity in teaching rhyme. That also an activity of teaching rhyme. At the end, you just make them listen, and you can say, now we can sing the rhyme, and you sing it. But singing rhyme is not a teaching pedagogy. I mean, it's not a part of the pedagogy. Ba, black sheep. Have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. 1 for the master, and 1 for the Dane, and 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. So that is said by the sheep. The question is by a child. Ba, black sheep. Have you any wool? So that is from the child. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you can change your tone. You can modulate your tone and teach it. So that would be nice, isn't it? So the child also would be getting an idea to ask, and you, if you want, have you any wool? That is a structure of asking a question. So now you can take that question. Prepare a chart. Have you a pen, or have you any pencil, or have you anything, something like that? Make questions of the same structure but for different things and practice. So let your children also. Miss, have you any eraser? So your child also, your students also should be able to ask questions like that, isn't it? So from a rhyme, you see that a lot of things are there to be learned. If it is possible, make some rhyming words also. Clear? If it is possible. But all the rhymes would not be giving you rhyming words. Here, I don't think we have a number of like Dame, Lane. No, that words come like that, but our children wouldn't be familiar with such words. So it's not possible. But if it is possible, make some rhyming words also. And stories, the same way. Put the vocabulary of the story in a chart, a sight word, make them read many times. Use the story card. Explain the story card. While discussing the story, your children should be able to understand the characters, to say the characters of the story, to say the location, the place of happening of the story, to say the weather, climate of the story, isn't it? To say the emotions, to express the emotions of the story like that. And some time words are also there. Once upon a time, later, next, at the end, like that. There are a few words like that. Clear? Time words. So all these things should be explained using a story card. So this is, you see, it's from the textbook, but we have already given story cards to teachers. So you can show a story card like this and ask the children what are things you can see in the picture. So there are trees, there are trees, you can see a crow, there is a sun in the sky, and the green leaves are there, rocks are there, a pot is there with some water. So children should be able to answer you to the questions you ask related to the picture. Is it clear? So that's all. I'm not going in deep with that because we don't have much time. Now, blending sounds, I already explained. In LKG, we have given at the end of each term that blending sounds, the practice, that page is there. So go for that. And when it comes to UKG, definitely teachers should give that blending, segmenting practices from every part. Like brick, bur, e, brick, black, bull, black. Okay, then it comes to read, eat, seats, seat, eat, like that. Chair, So this segmenting only will help them to learn words, to practice words, to find out new words. And that only will help them to write, to perform well in dictations. Dictations are inevitable part of teaching phonic sounds. At the end of every set of sounds, you have to put dictations. Clear? You have to put dictations, 5 words daily, and if they make some mistake, go for reading practice and again put dictation. You are not supposed to make them write the words 5 or 10 times. That is not a part of teaching phonics. It's a part of teaching. It's a part of learning spelling. That's a spelling method, by heart and spelling method. Clear? You can put dictations like rain. How the teacher should say it, like all of you write rain. Write it. Now the next word, rail. Clear? So in this way you put the dictation. Your children will be able to write. Once if you have, provided you have made them read the words many times before that. Now writing, in the writing part I told you, only the sounds your children are supposed to write first. Okay? While if they make the mistakes in the words, I don't recommend, but if you want, you can make them write the words 3 times minimum, 3 times, and learn it. Now, next one, there is a page I can speak in English. In English and also in EVS it is there. In English, of course, it is action words. LKG and UKG, and you have given a set of words, action words to communicate. Isn't it? So that is not simply to teach the word. That is a page to communicate. You can give a lot of examples. Create the same situation. There is a page, if there is a page like a coming, going, and all such things. In the classroom, you call the children and make them stand at some places outside the classroom, inside the classroom, and sitting. Somebody else is sitting there, someone is standing there, someone is eating there, and showing those children, each and everyone you have to use, you have to do the, see, he is coming. Who is coming inside? He is coming. So you know the name of the child, you can see. And he who is eating there, yeah, he is eating there, she is eating there. So use the word pointing to each and every child in your class. So create these actions, recreate these actions in the class, and practice it so that they will be learning it. And I will tell you another example. Take some objects, take a lemon, bring objects to the class, lemon, squeeze the lemon, give your children chance, opportunity to squeeze it, squeeze the lemon, and give them paper and ask them to crush it. So let them say while crushing it, see, I have crushed, or I'm crushing the paper, I'm crushing the paper, this is crush the paper. Okay, so use the word, not much complicated, in more complicated form, maybe using in the ing form itself, you use it. Switch, bring a switch and press it, press the switch, or take a balloon, blow it, blow it in and press it. Okay, then the next one, stretch, take a rubber band, stretch it, take and pinch someone. Okay, don't, without hurting them, pinch. Take a pinch of salt. Now it is a noun. Pinching, now it is a noun. When you take a pinch of salt, that's a noun. So you do it as an action and do it as a noun also, no problem. And take a ball, roll it, and using children's knife, plastic knife, cut something using that I told you, in a Play-Doh or a clay, cut it, or take some vegetables and cut it, or knead the dough, mix something. So do the actions using different things in your class, and make use of 1 or 2 periods for teaching this action. Communicate with that. I'm telling you, use these words in sentences, not simply teach the word itself, but use it in sentences so that children also would be getting an idea where I have to use this word. That's all. And all these words should be displayed in a chart, and you have to make them read it. That's all about action words. In EVS, when it comes, in EVS it is again for communication. When I am sick, how I have to say? There also go for role play. Give different roles to each and every child. Miss, I'm having a broken arm. I'm having rashes. It's itching. I'm having rashes. Miss, I'm having running nose. I'm having running nose or cold. I'm having cough. I'm having cough. Okay, and I use a handkerchief. Ask one child to do it like that using a handkerchief. Miss, I'm having cold. Okay, and I'm having fever, I'm having headache. So assign each child a duty, like showing this kind of sickness, and ask them to say the sentences. I'm having a sore throat. I'm having a sore throat. I cannot drink cold water. I can drink only hot water. I'm having sore throat. Understood? So make them speak in English using all these words. So let their vocabulary develop. Let their vocabulary increase. Understood? So I can speak in English. It is not a page to be taught to something to by heart. It is a page that should be used by the teacher to improve their language. You don't expect some questions from these pages in the exam paper. It's not like that. We would be giving you question paper also. Clear? So it is not for from the exam point of view. Now, when it comes to numeracy, numbers. In LKG, you can see up to 10, numbers up to 10 have been introduced in connection with something in real life. One, there is only one sun. One is reality. There is only one, isn't it? We have only one head. Have you seen somebody with two heads? No. There is only one sun in the sky. There is only one moon in the sky at night. So one. There is only one Kerala, our state. There is only one Kerala, but there are different states. All the states are not Kerala. There is only one state called Kerala. There is only one country called India. So you just connect that number 1 to real examples, and 2 also like that. So from 1 to 10, introduce a concept, introduce a number with the real life situations, real examples. And I say in all the classes, so there are different learning outcomes when you dealing with the numeracy part. First one is numbers. They are simply not simply figures, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. If you write 1, 2, 3 with the same size, you can see all these numbers are different pictures of the same size. But they are not simply figures or simply diagrams or pictures. They correspond to something. They correspond to a quantity, isn't it? As the number increases in order, the number of things that you can collect also increases. So that number corresponds to number of items, isn't it? That is one. That is what we call counting. Then number corresponds to quantity. As the number increases, some quantity is also increasing, not in counting part, but in the size, isn't it? Then the position. Each and every number has got a position. If you write 2 before 1, that is not correct. I mean, in 21 it is correct, but otherwise, I am telling about the sequencing, isn't it? In that order. So our children should know which is the correct position of the numbers and how to arrange the numbers in order and how to add 1, how to subtract 1. If it is more than 1, I am happy. You can go for adding by 2 or adding by 3 or adding by 4, that doesn't matter. But addition by 1, subtraction by 1 should be compulsorily introduced from LKG, from the beginning of the LKG. It is happening in their life. You just imagine, Amma, I have eaten 1 idli, I need 1 more. So Amma will say, aha, now we have eaten 2 idlis. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So it is there in their life. I have 2 chocolates. I won't give a chocolate to my brother. So Amma will say, no, you give 1 to your Chetan or your brother. So you have 1, he is also having 1. So if 1 is taken from my 2, then there is only 1 remaining. So that is subtraction. So they deal with addition and subtraction in their life. So why don't you introduce, why don't you make them do this addition and subtraction from the beginning? There is no issue on that. So do it. So these are the 5 learning outcomes. Number for counting. Number corresponds to quantity. As the number increases, quantity, the size also increases. Positioning of the numbers before and after. Comparison of numbers. Then sequencing of numbers. Addition by 1 and subtraction by 1. These are the 4 learning objectives we have to focus. Clear? And counting, no issues. You can make them count with any material in your hand. It's not simply counting from the board, I'm telling. You can make them count with the stones or pebbles. You can make them count with the pen. See, for the last 2 years online teaching, after online teaching, what is remaining with me, left with me is the number of pens, marker pens. I think I have 100 or more than 100 marker pens are there. I think I can use it for teaching in KG, that marker pens. So what are things that you get from your house? You use it. No issues. Clear? So let them count with the different things. See, beads, seeds. If you go for groundnut or peanut, let them count with that. You just get a packet full of groundnut. Let them count. Then sticks, small sticks, you can make from your home, from your house, from your courtyard. You cut sticks of the same size. Let them count with that. And as I told you, the pens. So anything that you get, let them count with the different materials and in different activities. That is filling bottles with some stones or pebbles. Let them count and fill it. So in first box or bottle, you have to put 5 pebbles. In the next bottle, you have to put 8 pebbles. In the next bottle, you have to put 11 pebbles, like that. So you give them some number, let them count and fill it. So counting activities should be given different types of activities so that they will be thorough with counting. So if they make some mistake also, you can easily identify. Clear? Then number corresponds to quantity. If you have number rods, make use of the number rods to show them the number is increasing. 2 is bigger than 1. 5 is bigger than 4. 10 is bigger than 9. So that growth of the numbers should be visible. In front of their eyes, they should see the number growth. If after 10 or 20, it may not be easy for you to show that with the number rods, then go for beads. Just like a abacus. Clear? In your class itself, you just take, what do you call that thing? Oasis. No? For arranging this stage and all, you get some oasis. It's not necessary to have oasis. Even if you take some candles or something like that, any plastic bottles, and insert one stick, of different lengths in the bottle, give them beads and ask them to put 10, 11, 12. Then when they look from one side, they can see 11 is greater than 10, 12 is greater than 11, the growth of the numbers. So arranging beads or pebbles, they can understand the number grows. This should be done up to 100. So as the number increases, you can use small objects like beads. In your class also, you can string beads and hang it. Even up to 100, you just hang the beads chain, so that they can see 100 is the the longest chain with that, because that is the biggest number. So that correspondence should be made visible to them. Then only they will be thorough with the comparison. Clear? Sometimes when you put like 35 or 26, which is bigger? So the children would be finding it difficult, which is bigger. Or 35, 53, which is bigger? 3 and 5, the 2 digits are repeated in both the numbers, but in different positions that they don't identify. So why this is happening? They should have seen 53, they should have seen 35 in front of their eyes in the class. Then only they can identify, oh, 53 is such a big number, isn't it? So that practice should be given. Then comparison of numbers, I told you. Sequencing of numbers also. On the floor, you can ask them to sequence numbers. There also, teacher can use some number cards. Give them some stones, simple stones or pebbles, colored pebbles. Ask them to arrange. Clear? Ask them to arrange. Like you give 2, 5, 3, 4. Ask them to arrange the pebbles. And looking at the arrangement, they can understand which number is small, which is the smallest number. So keep the number card. 2. Which is the next smallest number, which is next bigger number? That is 3. Then 4, 5. So looking at the number size, let them sequence. Like that, they have to learn. Now teacher can give some number cards after. They let them play with the number cards and arrange the number cards in order. See, the children with the dyslexia or dyscalculia, they cannot identify the order. They cannot put the numbers in order. Once if you miss some numbers in the order also, they cannot identify. Like you give 9, 10, 11, 13, 14. They simply read 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They don't understand 12 is missing there. So this kind of activities will help you to identify learning problems in your children also. And in this way, do some sequencing activities there. Addition by 1, subtraction by 1. Last day, all these days when I met some teachers in different schools, I was telling them to keep an addition corner or subtraction corner. What is an addition corner? You paste or nail 2 plastic bottles on the wall. In between, you put a plus sign. Below that you put an equal sign, and below the equal sign you just paste a bowl or some other thing. Clear? So the two bottles slanting, equal sign, and another bowl just below that. And a packet of small balls or pebbles should be there. Teacher can give your children some cards, number cards. You just give them number card 2, number card 3. So in the first bottle, they have to put 2 balls. So that ball, definitely that would roll down to the bowl. And the second bottle, that's another number card 3. So 3 balls should be inserted, should be put in the second bottle. That balls also would roll down to the bowl. Now you can ask how many balls are there. So the child would be counting it. Okay, 5 balls are there. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So that is the addition corner in your class. You just give them addition by one practice. You call one child, okay, give 5, then give one card. So 5 balls in the first bottle, second one in the first, 1 ball in the second pipe. All these two together come to the bowl, count it. 5 plus 1 is 6, like that. So everybody would be getting a chance to add. So they are doing addition. They will learn addition. The same thing could be done on the floor. It is not necessary that you need to do this arrangement. On the floor, draw circles, one circle, plus sign, another circle, draw a line, then one more circle. And teacher can the same way give cards. Child has to put pebbles in the first circle according to the number card, second circle according to the number card, count how many stones or pebbles are there, and keep that number of pebbles equal to the sum in the third circle. And teacher should ask, so now 3 plus 1 is 4. So these kind of addition activities could be given in the same way you can do subtraction also. So I'm telling you, it's not only because of the NEP I'm telling, let our children do mental math. Let our children do hand-on activities in addition and subtraction. Let them see what is happening in addition and subtraction rather than telling. And mental math also should be given, not this kind of activity teacher can give. Teacher can say, yeah, I have 10 pens in my hand. Now I will take one more. How many pens are there? The child has to count in the mind and should say, yeah, 10 plus 1 is 11. In this kind of activity should be given for number 2, number 3, number 4. 10 plus 4. Your child will be counting in my 10, then 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes, SMS 14. So that kind of activities should be given for mental math. Then the last one, number names. Number names. All the teachers ask me whether we should make them write number names. I am telling you, in LKG, anyway you won't make them write number names. In UKG, you make them write number names only if it is necessary, if you find it necessary. Clear? But what should be done is, from the beginning of LKG, display number names chart and make them read the number names many times. Let them see the number names in front of their eyes. Once if they read the number names from the beginning, throughout the year, and they learn the letters, definitely the image of the letter number names should be there in their mind. Okay, 1. Yeah, there is one O there, N there, E there. I have seen it many times and I know the letters. The child can write it. Clear? Make sure your children should look at the chart, follow your finger and read the number names. Whenever you get time, call them personally near the table, show the number names and make them read looking at the words, at the number names. So this reading practice will make them write. It is not necessary your children should write up to 100 in UKG. If you want to make them write the number names, do not focus on the phonic sounds. It may not be easy for you to segment using phonic sounds in all the number names, but make them read the number names as sight words and make them write it at the end in the third term. The beginning of the third term of UKG, start giving them writing practice. Writing practice in the sense not 10 times or 15 times. You just ask them to write 1, write 2, write 3 and check how much is their capacity in connection, association with the number names. After making them, that is provided you have made them read the number names throughout the year. If you find they make some mistakes, again make them read it for 1 or 2, 3 days. Again make them write. but make them understand, see, there is a mistake. 30, there is a Y at the end of the word. That's it. But if your system of the school demands you to, if a principal insists you to make them write the number names, you please go for that. But that is, again, I can tell you, let them write it 20, 21, 22 like that. Not TWENTY 20. Don't say the spelling and make them write it. Then what is the need of teaching them phonics? Clear? But everything is up to you according to your system. That's it. It is heard. No, I'm not sure about that. If the NEP, National Curriculum Framework, is implemented in the next year, there may not be writing. Focus on the writing part in LKG and UKG. Clear? Even if it is there, maybe only the letters, basic fundamental letters and all. That's all. Not the complicated 100 and will be there to write. Okay. That 67, such a long word for a UKG child. You just think about it. But they will write, because you teachers are excellent. They will write it, isn't it? You will make them write it. What a talented teachers, isn't it? Talented team of teachers. Okay, that is it. Now the last one is EVS. Again, I can tell you, in EVS part, based on teaching pedagogy should be based on activities, not based on asking questions and by hearting. It should be based on activities. We want our children to understand the concept, not to write the spelling of cauliflower, pumpkin, not to write the spelling of all the festivals, not to write the spelling of Republic Day, not to write the names of Monday to Sunday, not to write the names of January to December. It's not for that. EVS is not for that. If your children thorough with the names of the months, if your children is thorough with the name of the month in which Christmas happens, that's fine. That's enough. It is not like you need to make them write the spelling. EVS is, to know about the nature, to know about the system, the society, the surroundings and all. That knowledge is more important than writing all these things without having any idea. Now, sometimes teachers make them write Monday, Monday, Tuesday many times. The child may not be having any idea that from Monday to Friday we have class. Sunday is a holy day. It's a public holiday for everyone. Then what is the need of, what is the use of making them writing all the spellings many times and putting them in trouble? There is no need of that, isn't it? So EVS, it's full of concepts. You are making your children connected to the society, to the surroundings, to the nature, the animal world, the plant world. There are a lot of things to be discussed rather than by hearted. So please go for that. It's my humble advice. Your children should be able to speak about the body. Yeah, miss, my hair is, you see, my hair is black in color and my mother took me to a salon to cut my hair. So where should I go for cutting my hair? I should go to a beauty parlor or a salon. No? Last day I had a headache, ma'am, and my mother put some balm on my forehead. So the child should associate these kind of things or activities to the body parts. Someone touched my chest. I said, no, don't touch my chest. It's a bad touch. This is my personal, this is my private part. You are not supposed to touch my chest. You are a stranger. Your children should be able to say this. You teach them good habits. They don't practice the good habits. Then what's the need of teaching it? You teach them to say good morning. They don't know when I have to say good morning. So you will be telling it in the morning. But you just show them in the assembly when to say good morning, when to say sorry, when to say excuse me. So everything should be learned from the activities, from the practices, from the experiences. So all the topics in kindergarten, GK, we don't say EVS this times, no, it's GK. All the topics in GK, I just want you to give them experiences using in that particular topics, you see. Isn't it? If a teacher bring a toothbrush to the class to show them how to put paste in that, how to squeeze toothpaste and put it on the brush, how to brush, teacher should brush it. And you just send a note to the parent, tomorrow, please send your child's toothbrush also to the school. You collect the toothbrush, let you in the morning, that particular day, you have everybody together go and brush. And the teacher should demonstrate, this is the way to brush. Okay, this is the way to brush. And how to wash your mouth, your mouth should be washed like this. How to wash it to make your toothbrush clean, and how to dry it, how to keep it in the bag. So please do this. Nice, isn't it? Once if the teacher, teachers need not demonstrate, teacher can demonstrate not in real. But if you give them some time to take bath also in the school, I'm so happy. Let them do it. How to do it? Clear? Once we had a vegetable day celebration in our school. We prepared some vegetable dish and we gave them. The children, all of them ate it. Most of the teachers, you people are mothers, right? So a mother, nowadays mother, oh no, my child likes only chicken, only beef, only some non-veg items. If it is not there, he won't take lunch. But our children, they ate it. Clear? Tapioca. We boiled the tapioca and gave them, they ate it. So all such kinds of vegetables, whatever we gave in the campus, we cooked in the campus and gave them, they ate it. So I'm telling you, whatever you teachers do it in the school, your children are ready to obey. Your children are ready to follow that practice. So please do it. Clear? So EVS should be taught or introduced using activities. The words that you give them to write in the text notebook should be definitely easy for them to read, like mango, and go, like that. Or you can segment it, or man, go, like that. Clear? But G, that's a sound. That's ng sound. Okay, but you don't say mango, but it is mango, isn't it? So segment it separately. Segment it separately. I think that sound, it's well suited in Malayalam when we say that word, right? Mango, isn't it? That all the sounds are properly pronounced in Malayalam. That's nice. Anyway, and Diwali, you can make them right because they can segment and read it. Onam, they can segment and read it. So the words, suppose if you give banana, you can name an yellow fruit. Write the name of an yellow fruit. Okay, let them write banana. So like that. Only the words which they can read, segment and read, let them write it. Clear? So EVS should be taught like this. Now any more, and somebody else was asking me directions, isn't it? Directions. So this is the way. Use some activity. You just display some placards, some maybe in the camp, in your classroom, or maybe outside the classroom. You can give the placards to 4 children standing in 4 directions, and you teacher and children, or a group of children, you just go to a tour. You are going to the Himalayas, which are in the north, isn't it? Which you find in the north. So you are moving to the north, and to the right something to associate: west, east, south. Okay, clear? So there should be something to be associated with the directions, and you go for a tour to each of these directions and teach them like that. So everything should be planned. You have to draw the picture of India, the map of India on the floor, mark the north, south, east, west directions, and you go to some places. So children would be definitely they would be associating north to the Himalaya, and west to some sea or some place, east to some sea or place, and to the south to Trivandrum. So okay, maybe as an example. So the directions definitely that will be associated with some place. Clear? And this direction should be familiar to the children, those who are having some dyslexia, so that you can easily make them avoid writing the letters in mirror images. Clear? Like if you know which is your right, which is your left. We want P, the letter P, to be written to the right of us, isn't it? So you can make the P a parrot and teach them P. The parrot is looking to the right. So this is your right. So I have to draw P to the right. Isn't it? 2. Number 2 is a duck. The duck is looking to your left. Clear? So give them connection, association with the directions while writing the letters and numbers so that they can avoid writing it in the mirror image form, writing P to the left, writing 2 to the right, and all. So EVS, it's mainly for communication, to learn the concepts, names of the fruits, the vegetables, to communicate using the topics in GK like that. So these are the things I have to tell you in connection with the textbook when you go to the new academic year. If anybody else is having any more queries, you may please write it. If I know to answer, if I know it, then I will answer. Srijat,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
anything more to show?
Nothing, sir. Nothing.
So my dear teachers, are you happy? Huh? Are you happy? I hope all of you have prepared well to start a new academic year. Everything ready? Okay, fine. Some of the faces are very familiar to me, okay? Mini Tamban, Minimus. I think I have seen you in many of the classes, right? Miss? Huh? Isn't it? Yeah, you teachers and most of you. See, we have a good team of teachers, always follow the classes and everything from Password Publishing House Private Limited. That's very nice. We are a family, right? We are a family. And some new teachers are there. And as you are the executives, those who come to your school might have already told, in between the academic year, I will be coming to your schools so that we will have a personal discussion there. And your WhatsApp groups also, Roslyn Miss, your schools, there will be WhatsApp groups also. So in that WhatsApp group also, we can chat, we can communicate whatever you want, what kind of help you want from Password Publishing House Private Limited. You just text there, we will discuss. Okay, you people are excellent. You have many ideas. You have a good number of years of experience in kindergarten, and I can tell you only one thing. Please every day go to the class with some activity. Even if you are not prepared, you just go to the class, think, look around. You will get some idea to go for some activity. And without having any activity, don't introduce any of the topics. Writing also should be conducted like an activity so that they should find it happy, joyful to write. Clear? That is what I tell. That is what I always say. Teachers go for scribbling. And after scribbling practices, writing practices, and in writing also, please, if it is possible, if your parents can send them a packet of plain paper, white paper, if your school agrees with that, we do it. Okay, we do it. We ask the parents to send one packet of plain paper in the beginning of the academic year. So we make them write letters in the plain paper first. That the children would be given freedom to write from the top to bottom of the paper. We don't ask them. We don't put any kind of conditions or restrictions. Let them do it in their own way. And after completing writing in the plain paper, let them do it in a column book. We teachers draw columns in the paper and give them so that they can write in the column. So the fear of writing in the 4-line, that would be gone, because they know the child will understand. Yeah, I know how to write the letter Q. Now I know how to write it. Then let them go and write it in the 4-line book. Clear? So before we make them write in the 4-line, 4-line is it's a frame. So with writing within the frame, let them write with the freedom. That is what we need. So that's all. That's all I have to tell you. If you are having no more doubts regarding any of these things, thank you so much, and we will meet in between, maybe in person or maybe online. And thanks to Password Publishing House Private Limited for organizing this class. I think we teachers, definitely we need some time to just go through the things like this. And Password always focused on kindergarten or means primary and pre-primary, because that's the main area of a school or in our education system where we have to give emphasis, we have to focus on, so that the overall system would be developed from top to bottom in a school would be developed. Our children would be more confident, more concept oriented, more confident to ask questions. Clear? They would be relaxed once if the pre-primary and primary sections are okay with all these kinds of things. That's all. Thank you. Love you so much. Wish you a wonderful academic year in 2022. and no more pandemic situations in future. So that's all. Thank you once again. May God bless you all. Bye. Take care.
Thank you very much, sir. It was a very elaborative session, and you had very clearly explained all the strategies that these teachers can use in their classroom for teaching the kindergarten, the new butterfly series. Thank you very much, and all the best to all the teachers. Thank you, everyone.
The session is over, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे